Hello, thank you for taking the time to open up this video. My name is Germana Ravanelli. I come to you from Nanaimo, BC with decades of experience in the holistic healthcare field. This month, the month of March 2026, is all about alignment series, nurture series. How do we stay in alignment, which means integrated, feeling well, feeling strong, feeling stable, and how do we know when we have slipped out of alignment? And I would say getting in alignment is a superpower in this time in the world. This video is going to be about protecting our energy, and our energy is basically whatever we focus on, we create. If you focus on something that makes you feel grateful and appreciative and joyful, you'll actually have more energy and you'll feel better. If you focus on something that is something you're not happy about, something that you're afraid of, something that really might not even be your business, but you're focusing on it, you'll actually get weaker. And that is a form of psychic attack in a way that we do it to ourselves. And the world that we live in invites us constantly. We've got these phones, we've got all these things. And so to actually protect your energy, you need to be a master of your thinking and what you pay attention to, what you give your energy to. Because if I focus on you and I notice 3 things about you that I really love, my energy will go up significantly. In fact, if you muscle test me, I'll get stronger. And if I focus on something in my house that I really appreciate, my energy will get stronger. And if I focus on something that I don't like, maybe it's a fear-based thought, or it's a poverty thought, or it's a fear of being rejected thought, I will actually physically get weaker and the immune system will weaken just like that. And so understanding that everything has a cause and effect, and if every day you understood or understand that you get, say, 100 units of energy, and how you use that is going to determine what kind of a crop you're going to get for your thoughts and your actions and your duties or lack of duties. If you in the morning, this is something I do, and I really believe it's powerful. And if you look at people that have a spiritual practice, you'll notice most of them don't age, and you'll wonder, what the hell? Why? It's because they're happier and they haven't harvested their thought forms out into this world of negativity and chaos. Because you only have so much energy that you can distribute. And if it's all, stuff that you have no control over, you are weak and you're not happy. And so the cost of that is your health and the quality of life. If on the other hand, you learn a few different strategies that allow you to keep your attention, which is your energy and your mind's thoughts, present in the present moment, your energy could double and triple because you're actually filled with a sense of bliss. We live in a world that suggests that if we get these things, we're happy. And if we don't get these things, we're not. And in reality, those things don't make you happy. It's what you focus on that makes you happy. So in the morning, here's one quick, light a candle to remind yourself that you are connected to something bigger and greater than yourself. Some people will call it a higher power. Some people will call it a universe. Some people will call it God. Whatever. You light that candle and you ask very silently, please hover over me and fill me with grace. I'll tell you a secret. A miracle is when the universe bends the rules for you. And that is called grace. And somebody that I really respect, Dr. Carolyn Mace, talks about this. Why does one person heal and one person not heal? A lot of it has to do with their relationship with themselves and their creator, or not believing in a creator, or being in resentment. So one of the first things could be lighting a candle. Please hover over me, fill me with grace. Such a simple thing. And then perhaps just write in the morning 3 things, 4 things. I used to write 21 things I'm grateful for. And believe it or not, it would change the filter in my psyche, and I would start to notice in my life what feels good. And guess who felt good? Me. I felt good. And then I could do that with other people and help raise their energy. The other thing that's super important is our conversations with ourselves. Most people don't realize that we have more than one voice yattling along inside of our body. They call it the inner roommate, the inner dialogue, the inner critic, blah, blah, blah. And most of what that voice actually says is unkind, negative, that's trying to get us to either self-guilt, self-shame, which I'm bad, someone doesn't like me, I didn't do something right, blah, blah, blah. When we're aware of that, we can actually step back and just notice, oh, there's that negative voice. What do I want to do with that? Because you're not getting away from it. It's part of your ego. It's part of your psyche. What happens if you just put it as an energetic field on a cloud and you let your body unpack it, whether it had color, and you released it as a type of color or baggage? It might be pain, it might be grief, and you just sat and released it and let it go. I'll tell you what, you're not going to be fighting with this hidden thing. Sometimes I say it's like wrestling with a ghost. It doesn't go away until you acknowledge it and you ask yourself, what would happen if I let this go? Most people are like, what? I can let that go. I'm like, yeah, you can let that go. And then you could also come back and say, please hover over me and give me a symbol of love. Hover over me, fill me with grace, so that I have the dignity of feeling whole and complete in this moment. And that's an example of being in alignment. The other is running around shopping, buying things, doing things, crazy things to try to feel safe, when the chaos is actually from the inside of us and also the outside of us. So there's one example of how to manage this ego. And ego is, the acronym is edging God out. When we're in pain, we're in ego. We're in victim. We believe that if we get the new boyfriend or the new girlfriend or the new car or blah, 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 we'll feel better, and it's very temporary. That's the long way to hell. The other way is to go, okay, how can I be a vehicle for love? So that means that I'm worth loving and that I can receive love. And I am a spiritual person, and I become spiritual basically because I realized that everything else I was taught to follow didn't work. And I looked at people that were chasing these mirages, the cars, the this, the that, all the money, blah, blah, blah. And they were probably some of the most miserable people I ever met. And so I just see that as an error. I call it, looking for power in the wrong place. They call it looking for love in the wrong place. So in order to protect your energy, you need to understand that you are an energetic being, and that when you're out of balance, you'll be a little chaotic. You won't think properly. You'll probably think people are going to hurt you, or you need to hurt people, which means you're out of alignment. You don't feel safe. You can't have alignment if you're scared. And so that morning practice is one of the ways to kind of reattune yourself to being in the present. One of the teachings in my developing self-love is just to tap your thymus gland, your heart, and just say, this is the present moment. This is where your power is, right here. This is the present moment. And to sit there and then feel the feet in the shoes, feel the hips in the chair, and to get out of the mind, because the mind is where most of the chaos comes from. We're scanning for danger. And if there is no danger, the mind will manufacture it. So coming back to, is this true? Is what my mind telling me, is it true? And most of the time, if you force the conversation and you look for evidence, it's not. It's a mirage. So another way to protect energy is to notice if you're going into an environment that maybe you're leaving your home, light yourself up, put a light or a ball of light in your chest and turn it on as a way of saying, I'm staying in the present moment. And also, you can also add to that by placing an image of a beautiful, loving, caring hand behind you, holding your back. And it can be a symbol of your God, it could be the universe, it could be your higher power, it could be anything. But that this energy of love has my back. And the inference is, now I'm safe. So now you've got most of your power, just like that. And then when you go about the day, if you notice that you're a little bit nervous, bring your energy back to that symbol of a hand. Sometimes I'll put a sun behind me to remind me that I'm safe. If we're not feeling safe, we lash out, we come up with weird stories that is from not feeling safe, and we actually cause tremendous harm, usually to ourselves and obviously other people. Another way of protecting our energy, and this is going to sound very strange, you clean your house from head to toe and you get rid of all the junk in your house. Like, clean it and throw everything out that you don't use, that doesn't bring you joy. And then you salt the outside perimeter of your house. And as you do it, you say, only the highest vibration of light and love is welcome in this home. That's a protection from dark energy. And trust me, there's plenty of them. And then you smudge your house with a sage. And then you have a shower and you clean all of that energy off of yourself. And one of the things in the shower that I'll do is I'll envision as the water's coming in as it's white healing light. And I wash off any dark energy, other people's energy, because we pick it up, we're like a sponge, and wash it off my body until my body is actually rinsing clean. Say if you get in the shower and you're feeling angry, you let a symbol or a color that represents that and let it run out of your body. If there's shame, let it have a color or symbol, let it run out of your body. And you do that until it leaves your body, and then you surround your body with this beautiful ball of light. Simple, woo, yes. Efficient, works, yes. Keeps you out of therapy, yes. Keeps you out of doing things you later regret, yes. And so nurturing comes from knowing if I'm in a good place. In yoga, they call it in our right mind. And most people in this world, if you talk to them, they're not doing too great. They're constantly focusing on stuff that they can't control and they're not happy. And your mind doesn't know the difference between fantasy and reality. So if you're thinking about things that create emotions, think about things that make you feel good. Think about things that allow you to have joy, where your energy goes up. And if you're frightened, ask for help. Ask for help from somebody that you believe understands your situation. And also, if you're in pain or if you've done something that you're embarrassed about, silently say, is it okay that I made a mistake? Can I still be my friend? I made a mistake. And then put hand on heart, hand on belly. I'm sorry. It's okay that you made a mistake. You're human, and that's how we learn. And that stops the self-criticism, because you can't ever get away from yourself. So it's super important to be in alignment of, am I a good steward to myself, the innocence within me, the part of me that's trying to be safe, the part of me that wants to love and be loved. Am I loving to myself? If you can do that, you're probably the top 95% of the population. Most of the other people, and that's a spiritual practice, most of the other people are trying to get it through other people's approval. Saying terrible things on message boards, criticizing each other, self-hating their body. Your body is constantly listening to what you say. And it's the one thing you'll have until you draw your last breath. And it's really helpful from a spiritual principle that you treat it with regard and respect. It's not your enemy. It's showing you the consequences or the benefits of your commitment to honor it or not. And some of us haven't been taught. And that's okay. Baby steps. Find someone who you admire and ask them to give you some support. Be willing to do some spiritual work. Be willing to follow someone who looks and feels good. One of the teachers that I love, I'd ask him a question. He goes, well, you'll know if it feels good. And I was like, it's that simple, hey? Because my brain wants to analyze it. But he goes, if it feels good, that's your spirit telling you, do that. But you have to play the movie out. Don't go, yeah, I want the Lambo. I'm going to go buy a Lambo. You'll feel good until you get the bill, if you can afford the bill. But if it feels good intuitively in your heart, not your mind, because your mind will lie. It's ego-driven. It's fear-driven. If you go into your body, does this feel good? And also being able to say, I'm not comfortable with this. A while ago, I had a conversation with someone, and I just said, I don't want to do this. This hurts. And that person was not used to someone saying that. I said, I didn't agree to this conversation. That was me protecting my energy because I was getting dumped on and I wasn't ready for it. So speaking up, is this a good time? Not a good time. What do I need to feel safe? Shh. I'm going to end the video because my dog will start to bark very soon, and I want to thank you for watching this. Please feel invited to like, share, and subscribe. The rest of the videos for this month are all designed about nurturing, protecting your energy, and allowing you to have tools to allow you to feel great. Something you can't buy, you either invest in it or you don't. Thank you.